Tell me what's your point of view? What's your point of view? Tell me what's your point of view? It is your view, point of view, point of view. What's your point of view? It's time to hear from you. Welcome to Point of View. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to Point of View Live. I am here with the humble guest. I got Miss Pastor Adonis, Tina, my sister Tina. How are y'all doing today? Say hello to the people.
Hello
people.
Everybody.
Hi.
How are you doing?
So first, just introduce yourself to the people. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'll go first and then I'll introduce her. My name is Adonis Randolph. I am the husband of Tina Randolph. I guess I'll say, we're the pastors of Household of Faith Church, located in Wilmington, Delaware now, 219 North Market Street. We had the privilege of starting that by the grace of God 3 years ago. And I am the husband of Tina, as I said. We also had the grace of God on us to be married 19 years, which is a big thing for us. And this is Tina Randolph, my wife, and I'll let her tell you more about herself.
He said he done said it. I'm here. That's what she gonna say.
Well, again, I am Mrs. Randolph. Let's not get it twisted. But anyway, I am happy to be married to Adonis Randolph. And how we met, I want to say significantly how God brought us together. It's a story to tell. We'll save that for the event coming up. But we're here to share about our event that's coming up called the Marraige Refresher. And just as we're talking about it, we'll tell you why and what our purpose is, what we're doing it for. So, again, we're glad to be on the show here with my sister Amanda. We go back some years. And looking at both of us, we still look the same, right? Yeah.
God is good. God is good. That's a W in that group.
Yes.
Good. He is good.
Yeah.
Yes, we go way back like recliner chairs.
Yeah.
But and she has always been the same. Always a sweet spirit,
thank you.
soft spoken, and I love it because if she has something to say and she starts talking like, what Tina talking about? Because if Tina talking, Tina got something good to say. That's why I was like, y'all doing something? Come on down.
Wow.
Come on down. So, but I love them.
You always have that connotation about her that she's
Really?
soft-spoken.
He said, I don't get
She
that.
ain't soft-spoken. Not at
But
all.
she got something to say when it goes when you go home.
Exactly. And that's I think people think that about her and all of her sisters. They think that they're soft-spoken, and not at all. Not at all. You know what I mean?
But see, the thing what I love about the Wortham sisters is that they have a presence.
Right.
And they have a confidence.
Yeah.
That when they walk in the room, it's like they're not there for foolishness. That's why I said, I was like, okay, one of the Wortham sisters doing something. Come on down.
Yeah.
Because everything that you do, everything that you guys do, y'all set a standard.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos.
Right.
Kudos to y'all. You found a good one. Look,
Thank you.
look.
I
He
know
who
that.
find it.
That's right. Find a good thing. Come on now. I know it. Amen.
He
Yeah.
said, I know the word. I did that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
But we are here. First, congratulations.
Thank you.
19 years.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
Y'all
you.
can't
you.
get to that 2-0.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get
Yeah,
over.
man.
So 2020, y'all be 20.
Ain't that something? We were out to dinner with another couple, and we didn't even think about it like that. But it was like in 2020, y'all would be celebrating 20 years, and we were like, wow, yeah, we will be celebrating 20 years.
It's kind of like a
You know what I'm
seal.
saying? Yeah. And I forget what he said now. And this brother and the couple that we were out with are really. They know like some Jewish things. So he was telling us like the significance of the 20 in the 20, and I'm talking about Sir Walter.
Yeah.
And it was powerful what he was sharing with us, but it's nothing but the grace of God.
Yes.
Nothing but
Nothing but the
Yes.
grace
yeah,
of God.
and they got you got the stereotypical years, the 5, the 8, the 10. But to be able to say, you know what, we're coming on 20 is amazing.
Yeah.
So you have a marriage refresher
Yes.
going on. Like I make it sound really
Yes.
sweet,
Yes.
but y'all know y'all gonna get in trouble. Y'all get there, you gotta talk the talk. You
Yeah.
gotta talk the deep
Yes.
stuff,
Yeah.
good stuff. I mean, that's the thing about marriage is that it's a process. It's
Yeah.
a
It
is,
building.
it is.
You never
Yeah.
make it anywhere. Every year you're growing, and that's the goal is to grow.
Exactly.
That's all you can really do.
Exactly.
So talk to us about this event.
Okay, well, I'm going to start. I want to just share how it came about. And the full name of it is the Not Another Talk About Marriage Refresher. And the way it came about is the co-hosts who are on the flyer with us, I've shared on my post that they are both successful entrepreneurs themselves, independently, and as well as together. And they have also been graced by God to celebrate 39 years this year, and it will be 40 for them next year.
Yes.
40 years married, and never been separated or anything like that. Of course, they had issues, but they're worked
married.
through them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But they also they're writing a book that will be out soon, and I'll advertise it for them. But the book is going to be called "Not Another Book About Marriage," and the reason they titled that is because there's numerous videos and books and manuals and all kind of stuff on marriage. They didn't want to talk about the same stuff that those books talk about. They want to talk about how to keep your marriage happy, how to enjoy your spouse. We all know, like when your spouse was pursuing you, or you were pursuing your spouse, you pulled out all the stops.
Yeah.
You put your best foot forward. You wanted to make your best presentation. You know what I mean? And that's what they want to talk about. They also have a platform called the Date Life Marriage Platform, where they talk about how every day of your life as a married couple has the potential to be a date, or should be a date. We're all familiar with date nights. And they saying, you can call it what you want, but you're together all the time as married people. So every day should be a date. You want to enjoy your spouse every single day. So every day should be a date. So that's how it came about. We were talking with them, and they were sharing with us, about this book. So I was at work just minding my business, and most of the time that's when the Lord talks to me, when I'm at work or when I'm driving my car. And he was like, I want you to do a marriage seminar, and invite the Dudleys to be the co-host. And I don't want to make it some big deep spiritual thing, because my relationship with the Lord is practical. You know what I'm
there
saying?
was
Like,
lightning
I
and
talk to
God
him, you know what I
said.
mean? My prayer time is like I'm talking to you. You feel me?
Yes.
So he was just like, and then I wanted to be, not another talk about marriage. Like their book was like not another book about marriage. This seminar, or we called it a refresher, and I'll get into that too, is going to be called Not Another Talk About Marriage, because it's not just the usual talk. Usually when you go like to marriage thing, you're getting talked about what you shouldn't do,
do's and
or why
don'ts.
this happened because you
Yes.
did that.
Stop
Yeah.
cheating.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
that's
Right.
Like, don't you look at that woman? Don't you look at that man?
Exactly. And we didn't want it to be about that. We wanted to be about the good things that are in marriage, and if you for whatever reason are lacking in good things, what you can do to get those good times back.
Yeah.
So that's what the center of this marriage seminar is going to be about. And I'll let you speak once after I say why it's called a refresher.
Okay, honey.
'Cause I know she got something to
Yeah.
say. And it's called a refresher because, and I use the analogy of food or anything. And Gary Wang, who's the husband of the co-host, he used the analogy of a computer. Everything gets old. Food gets old. If you've been at your job a long time, that gets old. Marriages get old. He says, a computer, if you leave it on all the time, it gets viruses. So what do you have to do to get rid of those viruses? You have to refresh it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called a marriage refresher. It's talking. It's for people who are newly married, people who have been married, a long time. How you can, if you're newly married, how you can keep your marriage fresh, and if you've been married a long time and you kind of lost some of that spark, how you can refresh it. Because everything needs to be fresh, especially if you want it to last a long time. You got to refresh it. You want your car to last a long time. You got to put some maintenance in on it.
Yes,
You know what I
yes.
mean?
That oil
You gotta
freshened up.
get get that oil freshened up, which a lot of us don't do. Got to get the oil
Engine to
freshened
seize
up.
if you don't get that oil change.
Tell me about it. And your engine will seize in marriage as well if you don't get.
Go on down there. I
Amen.
feel you.
know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
you. Go ahead. Go on.
Yeah.
I feel you.
So-
Get ready to go down that road. I feel you.
Come on. So that's why it's called the marriage refresher, because everything, if you want it to last, needs to be refreshed. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk.
Okay.
Man.
Well, he said a mouthful already. So with that being said, to refresh, as we got married very young, 23, 22, we're not the 22 and 23 year no more. We're in a whole new other stage now. So now as the stage has, changes, there's new things we do have to do. Like I'm had to do new hairstyles, whatever it is to keep him looking at me so I have to break his neck. But what I'm just saying is
Speak the truth and shame the devil.
we,
Speak the truth and shame the devil.
we want to keep it going, keep it fresh, and whatever it was that drawed us to each other, you want to still keep that going. Like, oh, when I wake up, that he next to me, he breathing, and that's mine. You know what I mean? I got papers on that. You know what I mean?
Hey, you don't know you can learn today.
And when the name Adonis, but I just like, oh, do you know what your name means? That meant something to me. I was like, you are a Greek god, and that name fits you.
Hungry guy, she
Yes,
said.
my
It's
Adonis.
like, we're going to make this official, okay?
Yes. So to say all of that, we need that, and with us being believers, they're going to see us first to see whether we fake with it, real with it. We want God to be in the midst of it. And whatever it is that we're going through, you probably going through the same things we're about to go through. We want to share with you that God has taken us through it. We have the scriptures to bring us through out of it. So however we want to share our experiences with you, that God can help you get through this. So but without him, we can't lose.
Listen, I like it. I like it. I like it. So this marriage refresher, I like the whole concept because every now and then you can get stagnant. And you need that fresh wind, that fresh oil, that fresh something to bring it back up to life. Because it's just like every day, you go to work and work and work. Change up the direction of work. Change up a couple things. So when you decide, when God had gave this to you, you said, you know what, this is what you want to do. Is it something that you said, personally, I know this is what is needed, or were you seeing a lot of relationships struggling and looked around and said, I know this is what is needed?
Both. I unfortunately know people who marriages have failed. People who are good friends of ours, marriages have failed. And then you also do look around. Marriages are under attack. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I do, in both aspects, see that it is something that's needed. I think a lot of times people take from what they see other people go through and unknowingly bring that into their marriage. They take what their father may have said or even what their mother may have said or what family members may have been through, and unknowingly they bring that into their marriage, and then they take on the baggage from other people's relationships. And what we want people to know first and foremost is that your parents could have been married 30, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? And that's a wonderful thing. But you can take the good stuff, but you still have to make your marriage and your relationship with your spouse your own. Yeah. You can't come in acting like your dad. She can't come in acting like her mother. You guys have to learn one another and then grow together. And that's what a lot of people don't know, that you have to grow together in a marriage. You don't just come together and everything is good. You got to grow together. You know what I mean? You have to learn. She has to learn me. Yeah. I have to learn her. And then we also can't forget to have fun. You know what I mean? A lot of people get stuck in roles. Husband take out the trash. And she'll tell you, my perspective in marriage is whoever has the ability to do it, do it.
What works for us.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if I get home first and the house is dirty, I'm going to start cleaning it up. I'm not going to sit around and wait for her to start doing it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's nonsense. Yeah. That works for me. You know what I'm saying? Because
I love it. Yes.
I feel like, and this is, I don't want to make it a whole spiritual thing, but the Bible does say, whatever your hand finds to do it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if there's something, if there's something that needs to be done, you do it. I'm not going to sit around and wait for her to do it, and then we're going to argue about why it wasn't done.
It's your responsibility.
You know what I mean?
That's your, and really it's ours.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Ours. And it's sad because a lot of people get into that. I think both guys and girls, but I'm not going to say that. But I know from the women's side, like, oh my God, your husband ain't get you no flowers for Valentine's Day. Right. Oh my God, I ain't want no flowers for Valentine's Day. I got steak. I wanted steak for Valentine's Day. What works for you? Exactly. So it depends on. It's like, okay, you want me to feel bad because that's what you wanted that I didn't get.
And then you take that on, knowing that that's not you, and start a whole.
I go home like, why you ain't give me no flowers for Valentine's Day? Right. Becky husband got her flowers for Valentine's.
Yeah, and you didn't even want flowers. You know what I mean? So we take stuff like that and bring it into our marriage, and it's not even us. Yeah. And then another thing I was going to say is that exactly. And then we forget to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we get stuck into the roles, but you also want to have fun
Enjoy your
and
partner.
laugh
Yeah.
and enjoy yourself. And that's another aspect of this refresher that we're going to be talking about also is having fun. Take the time to laugh and play and enjoy everything that you do.
Yes, with each other. Yeah.
Our co-hosts, as I said, they have the Date Life Marriage platform, and they every day, or maybe even a couple times a day, whatever they're doing, they show it. They show themselves making it a dating opportunity.
Yeah.
The other day, if you follow the Date Life Marriage platform, they were in Home Depot picking up wood to make shelves, and they were showing how they even took that as an opportunity to enjoy one another. You know what I mean? So that's another part of this marriage refresher is how to just enjoy your spouse, whatever it is that you're doing. If you don't have the resources to go out, make it a date at home.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Balance is
Yeah.
just
If you
Yeah.
don't have cable, put on an old
Netflix.
rerun.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have the internet to get
YouTube.
Netflix,
YouTube.
right? If you don't have the internet, what I mean, put on the TV and get the antenna and make it work right and get you
I
some
know, that's
popcorn
right.
and
Work it
enjoy one
out.
another.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
Or
talking
open
about
the door depending on where you live at.
exactly. We just want this is not somebody is just laughing. I'm going back to the questions I was asked. Somebody put a question on the post and said first they asked what a marriage refresher was, which was a good question because it's kind of a uncommon term. But then they said, well, who are these people and why should I listen to them? Which is, and she got mad when she saw it.
Somebody
You know what
else
I mean?
might be able to say,
yeah.
let me
She
give
got
you a good
upset. She was
reason.
like, huh?
Well, the question was
they
what
said,
makes it so special.
What are so special about these people that I should listen to them? And she was like, well, there is something special about us.
Well,
you know what I mean?
he started out
Yeah.
and said, well, there's nothing
Yeah,
special about us.
I said there is nothing
And
special
I said,
about
there
us.
is something special about us. It's just not what they're probably looking for. I kind of got offense to it. I'm like, we are special.
But that was a good setup for y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
To prepare y'all for what? Because some people are like,
Right.
what y'all got to say?
Yeah, who
And
are
you
they?
already know that spirit, so now you can prepare to speak
And that's
to
what
them.
Yes.
I'm telling her. And that's what I'm telling her. So I said, okay, first of all, there's nothing special about us. You know what I mean? Only the fact that by the grace of God.
Grace of God.
Because we always got to bring God into it because really, we ain't doing this on our own.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
We're not special.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
extraordinary.
Come on.
Yes.
Come
love
on.
it. Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I said, there's nothing special about us. But this, only by the grace of God have we celebrated 19 years.
Yes.
Never been separated. You know what I mean? And all those years, you know what I mean?
You can encourage.
Exactly. Never stepped out by the grace of God. You know what I mean? And then, our co-host, 39 years by the grace of God.
Yeah.
Both successful entrepreneurs by the grace of God. Never separated. All this by the grace of God.
Yes.
And we're not claiming that we've never had issues.
Yes.
But all we're saying is that you can overcome those issues. And if you've had things, we're going to come and share with you what God has given us the ability to get out of.
Yeah, to try to
You know
help.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Y'all know what? That's
So.
15 minutes. We are. You know, you feel like it. Do it.
No.
So Brett says family. So make sure y'all say hi to Brett.
Yo, cuz, what's going on, man? How are you?
So let's get some meat of this event. Give everybody the details so they can kind of come and get connected and support. Get them
Okay.
tickets.
You want me to take it?
You got it.
Okay. Now I want to say I know we made it seem like or sound like this is a spiritual event. It's not going to be that. I mean, I say this all the time. I try to tone it down, but you can only be who you are. I'm a pastor, and scriptures and God talk is going to come out of me. It's just a fact of the matter. But this event is for anybody who is married, newly married, married for some time.
Or a date. We've got a date set. We
Yeah.
want you there.
Yeah, married for some time, and it's going to be a time where you can get some good information, ask some questions, rub some elbows with other married couples, make some friends, network, listen to some music, enjoy some refreshments.
Yes.
And it's going to be November 22nd. That's a Friday. At 7 o'clock. The doors are going to open at 7 o'clock, so you can begin to come in and get you some refreshments and talk with people. And then the refresher is going to begin at 8 o'clock. It's going to be at 219 North Market Street. The name of the venue is Studio on Market. 219 North Market Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19805. And if I could, real quick, I just wanted to talk on the price. It's only $15.
Yes.
And we talked about that, but I wanted it to be I'll just say cheap, for a reason, because to me it wasn't about trying to make money off of it. I didn't want it to be that way. I don't care about how much money I make off of it. I just want we want marriages to be successful. We want marriages to last. We want people to be able to see, that a marriage is a good thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You got people talking about, I don't ever want to get married. You know what I'm saying?
Who
Well,
put
why
that
not? You
seed
don't
in
know.
there?
Yeah, you don't know what you're
that seed
missing.
up.
Yeah, marriage
Pick
is
that
a good
thing up.
thing. Marriage is an institution of God, and God is good, so marriage should be good.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
on that note, the average female little girl plays with dolls, and they always are the mommy. They're always in a role of Mary.
Yes.
Even subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
That Barbie and Ken thing, that's a marriage
Yeah.
in some
Yes.
little girl's mind at the young age. And it's God has already put that unity and combination in us at a very young age.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for so come and get the refreshments before the refresher.
Yes,
Come
love
So that you
it.
can be ready to be refreshed.
Love it.
And
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
refreshed. But
Exactly.
I just like the fact that every now and then you got to get around like-minded people.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you get around different-minded people, they might change your mind
Exactly.
about marriage, about
Yeah,
your
yeah.
relationship.
Exactly.
And you're no
Yeah.
longer building, but you're
Yep.
tearing down.
Right.
Yep.
Because we
Yeah.
got some people who sabotaging their own marriages
Yep.
Yeah.
because of the influence from other people.
That's the
Yeah.
truth.
Yep.
That's
So
the
give
truth.
them your information, how they can reach out to you.
Okay. I want to touch on the price one more time. $15, not one person, but $15
couple.
for a couple.
Yes.
I want to.
Oh, yeah, we didn't get that part the first time.
$15
Per
per
couple.
So that's for
Yes.
both of y'all. You know, you spend $15 at McDonald's by yourself.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't
so it's
supersize it.
$15 per couple. Again, the event is going to be at Studio on Market, 219 North Market Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19805. The event is on, you can register on Eventbrite. Just type in Not Another Talk About Marriage, Marriage Refresher,
Yes.
and then you can go through the whole ticket purchasing process right there on Eventbrite. But if you're not comfortable, which a lot of people aren't, with putting their information in on credit card, we will have the option of purchasing at the door. But the only thing we ask for you to do is to inform us that you are planning on purchasing your tickets at the
Yes.
door. Unfortunately, it's the event that we have is not super large. I mean, the venue that we have is not super large, so there is limited seating.
Yes.
And I don't want to have to turn
Yes.
anybody away, so I would
Yes.
just like to have a count of people that are planning on coming. You can look me up on Facebook, Adonis Randolph. You can look her up on Facebook, Tina Randolph. We have flyers of the marriage refresher posted on our pages, and you can just message us on there and say, listen, I want to come, I want to attend, and let us know you're coming. That's how you can reach out to us.
Iron sharpens iron.
That's right.
So even if you're not having issues, that's not the purpose of this event. It is just to keep us encouraged.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Keep us motivated. Put those things back in front of us that we sometimes let fall through the side. And I am one of them people who kind of struggle with putting the credit card in every time for our Father, for which art in heaven, well, hallowed be thy name.
Yeah.
Please don't let them take my card.
Right.
But again, if you're married, getting ready to get married, we gotta rub shoulders to make sure that we continue to put that bright spotlight on marriage, because the world is not doing that anymore.
Exactly.
So thank you guys for coming,
Thank you for having us.
and see you next time.
Take me back.